the 3D event of the summer. The most fun you'll have in 3D. In eye-popping 3D. In eye-popping 3D.
In incredible 3D.
In mouth-watering 3D.
In Disney Digital 3D. In Digital 3D. In Digital 3D. In Digital 3D. In 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 3D.
That introduction wasn't too obnoxious, was it? Hey everybody, welcome to another, I said frightening, another chilling adventure, chilling adventure in defending my collection. What the fuck is with me? Yeah, it's another episode of Series 2 of Defending My Collection, the 3D Blu-rays. Welcome. You people would really enjoy these movies if you had... What the... Went to some goofy thing, then to some Peter Lorre. Hey everybody, it's old crazy wacky Roger D on Channel Donstar here. Yeah, you've tuned in to Defending My Collection, episode... Is it 5? 4? 3, 2, 1? I don't know. I just make these and put them out there. But anyway, this is the, excuse me. Yeah, I'm so energetic today. I don't know what happened, but I'm just so crazy. My blood pressure is, and my hypertension is tensioning, and, oh my God, I just got a headache. Oh, what a way to start, huh? How about that? In 3D, in 3D, in 3D, 3D, oh. Take a breath. Take a breather. Hey, how about we have a primer? Primus. Great band. God, I love the band Primus. But we're not here talking about rock bands. We're here talking about the new episode in Series 2 of Defending My Collection, the 3D movies. Yeah, you know that already. This is the series of, for those new viewers, this is the series of videos where I go through my entire Blu-ray collection, talk about each and every one, and tell you little stories and tidbits that just happen to get into my cranium, and I can't get them out until I spew them all out onto the video. Yeah, we're up to the M's. Actually, we're doing the M, N, and O's today. 3 letters. Ow, it still hurts. It's weeks after weeks. It's getting better, but it's old and arthritis. You want me to let me know? You know, I'm going to let everybody know. You don't need to know, but you're like, what are you doing? Just get to the movies. I locked my keys in my car. This was like 3 weeks ago. I locked my keys in my car. Went out grocery shopping, got back. All my frozen foods were like, oh, they're going to melt, they're going to melting. The ice creams are melting. So I got a hanger, and for about an hour and a half. And then, when I finally got it open and got in to get my groceries, I realized my hand was so swollen I couldn't open my hand. Now I can get to there. Now, before it was like, that's about as far as I can go, and about that was as far as I can. And even now, if I push right on the palm, it hurts. And even now, even though you can kind of see my old veiny veinies, they're not as veiny as this hand. See, look at the difference. Here you see all the veins. Here you see some swelling. This is 3 weeks, and it's still, but I can at least open it. I still can't lay my, no, I still can't lay my hand totally flat on a surface. There's like a up, because it hurts way too much. Stories from Roger. God, I'm so weird. Anyway, yeah, we're doing. Hey, welcome, new people. Don't tune out. Don't run away. It's just a crazy guy. So let's get going. We're in the M's. First movie. And I just started. I just had a sip. 2 sips, and I'm already... That's just me. I'm just a goofy guy. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling energetic. The old ticker is ticking. I had one, oh, I'm not going to get into it, but it only lasted a day, and then it went away, and I was like, oh, good, because I really want to make this video. What can I say about this? Man, everybody has this movie. Just about. I would say everybody in America has this movie in their collection. Maybe not the 3D version. There's probably 30% that have the 3D version. 30%? Is the whole video going to be this crazy? I know I'm going to get tired of doing that, but maybe, I don't know. M&Os. M&O. Mad Max, man. What can you say? I'm not going to say anything. Everybody knows how kick-ass great this movie is. The 3D, this terrible filming. I'm covering my mouth. No, it'd be that way. I'm Batman. The 3D, shut up! The 3D in this is really, really good. I did not know, sir, I did not go see this on the big screen in 3D, and I hear it was pretty damn phenomenal. But I was very happy when I did finally watch it in 3D with this Blu-ray on my television. That, yeah, I had the same visceral experience. Maybe not as big and bombastic, but it was fantastic. I love everything about this movie. I'm so glad it won all the awards at the Oscars, even though I don't give a damn about the Oscars. They're all political crap and all that. But I am glad that they got all the technical achievements in here. It's so great to see George Miller come back and do another movie in his trilogy, making it a fourth one. And at his age, to do something as great and as fantastic and visually stunning as this was just amazing. Yeah, 3D presentation's great. Got the lenticular. Got the 3-disc set. And enough said. Let's move on to the next. Afro circus, polka dot, afro. Madagascar 3. If that song isn't in your head for days after you see this movie, you got no brain. Because what am I saying? You got no brain. It's just such a catchy, hilarious scene and tune. I heard very good things about this. I saw the first 2 movies. They were okay. They were all right. Family films, they're okay. But on the forums, Bluray.com forums, 3D forums, check them out. I heard all this great talk about how fantastic the 3D is in this, and how the pop-outs and how fun the movie was. And I was like, okay, gonna watch it, gonna get it, and I got it, and it was good. I am nuts today. What the frell got into me today? Yeah, this is exactly as they said. It's one of those movies you should have in your collection if you're a 3D aficionado, because the 3D presentation is fantastic. It's a fun movie. Excuse me, 3 discs. And that damn song at the end with Afro Circus, polka dot, Afro. Oh, excuse me. My God, he exploded. Well, I only watched this once. I'm just realizing, wow. Looks a lot like my daughter. That's all I'll say. I only saw this once, and it was pretty damn beautiful to look at. Not the girl. She's only on the thing as a cover. 3D Forest. 3D Magic Forest. This was one of those that I just, hey, there's nothing coming out this week, and I want some 3D. No lenticular, just very flat. Isn't she cute? She's beautiful. Oh, wow. Wow, that's weird to see just a white page background. It's weird. Are all of them like that unless they have a picture? No, they darken it. Or is the the case very clear? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty much just just about an hour of national parks, streams, Hungarian national parks, nestled in the Buk Mountains of northwestern Hungary near Miskolc. Yeah, it's pretty much just visual. It's like a screensaver. You put this on and you see shots of a forest, shots of a stream, shots of clouds, shots of birds. Not so many animals, but just like soothing, very soothing, which I probably should do today because I'm hyperactive, da da da, hyperactive, da da da. What was that song? Hyperactive. Who did that song? Wow, was that from the 80s or 90s? Hyperactive, da da da, hyperactive, da da da. I'm gonna look right now. No, I'm not. Da 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 da. Wow, that's in my head now. Magic 3D Forest is very beautiful to look at. Sidebar, Judge. Hyperactive song. Sorry, it's in my head and I gotta figure. Thomas Dolby, of course. Of course.
Machine just to keep my mouth from smiling, John.
Enough. I don't want to get copyright problems. Frickin' head, man. Where did Hyperactive got me thinking of Thomas Dolby's song Hyperactive? Man, I used to dance like crazy to that song. Hyperactive, da, da, da. Back in my thin days. What the? Sorry, folks. I hope you're enjoying me. This I imported from the UK because I heard it was a 3D movie. It was a Disney film. Angelina Jolie. Really liked her in this. I mentioned in my Throwback Thursday theater when I was watching Lara Croft, I was mentioning how I was perturbed by her lips, all the posing and everything. But I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, all right, yeah, Maleficent, okay, yeah, she's going to be in Maleficent, that's cool. And I saw it was in 3D, and I was like, okay, yeah, if I got some cash, and when the movie comes out on Blu-ray in 3D, I'll pick it up. But alas, the U.S. did not distribute it. Oh, alas. Had to go to the UK and import it. Got the old, ratings there. It's freaking fantastic in 3D. I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. Wow. Visually, I'll say visually stunning. It was really, really cool. Probably a lot of you, if you did see this, because it's an older flick, you probably did see this on flat, 2D. It was like, nah, it's an okay movie. It's all right. But man, the flying scenes, the look of it, there was so much great depth, I thought, in my eyes, that it looked really, really good and worth. Very happy with the purchase. Got the DVD, got the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray 3D in there. Got the tchotchke Lion King musical, Ultimate Disney Holiday. Wow, I bet those Disney boat trips are super expensive. Gosh, not in my lifetime, never. Wow, would be nice though. Any cruise would be nice. Gosh, just to get away on a cruise for a week. I think I would like that, but yeah, not in my life. All right, here we go again. 3dfilmarchive.com. Thanks to also, wait a minute. Wait a moment. You're not Miss Jackson. Python reference. No, I guess not. Let me take that back. This was just brought out. No, I guess not. I thought 3D Archives did this. Let me verify here in the credits. Facebook. No. Wow. All right. But anyway, don't be a stranger. 3D Film Archives does some great stuff. Please support them. Twilight Time released their very first 3D release for home theater 3D setups. That was the movie called Man in the Dark, which is an old flick from 1953, the golden age of 3D. I tell you, everything's 53. Excuse me. This was a phenomenal watch. Actually, I believe, yeah, this was a few years ago. So this was before 3D Film Archive got involved in releasing films. I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in ghosts. This was great. Seeing an old film noir film that was done in 3D, and there's like a torture scene where a guy's tied to a chair and they're like burning him with the cigar butt, the cigar thing, and they go right up to it like, and he's like, ah. And there's a scene on a roller coaster at the end, and it's a really, really great movie. The 3D is pretty damn fantastic in this. Kind of done just like the archives, where they got the the booklet, and and it's in a cheapo eco case. Excuse the phlegmy. Uncle Phlegm's come to visit. But yeah, again, if you're even if you're not a fan of like old movies from the 50s or 40s or 50s, like film noir, black and white. I don't like black and white. It's boring. And you have a 3D setup, look for Man in the Dark. Although it's Twilight time, it might be out of print. Don't know, but it's in my collection, and I had a great time with it. It's a really, really good film noir movie. See all that craziness? I'm hoarse now. All right, this thing had a lot of hype coming, and then once everybody saw it, it had a lot of flack. Everybody hated this. Damn, why does he do that? Why does he kill? He's not supposed to kill. All the people he let die in the buildings, and he should have saved them. He should have took the fight out of Metropolis. He should have done this. He should have done that. I picked up the 3D version. I watched it, and I was like, yeah, it's a pretty decent film. Zack Snyder. It's really, really well done. I mean, I love the Christopher Reeve original Superman the movie and Part 2, Superman 2. The sequels, yeah. But those first two I really, really cherish. I think Christopher Reeve is still probably even over Cavill, because he was starting in here. But I really think Christopher Reeve personified Soup, the best that I envisioned him in. I mean, I grew up watching, was it Steve Reeves as the TV version of Superman? Was it Steve Reeves? The man who killed himself, and then Ben Affleck did a movie about his life, his suicide, supposed suicide. But I watched this like a few weeks ago, a bunch of weeks ago, last month, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had forgotten a lot about this movie, and I was just going to throw it in and just watch a few little action scenes, like the destruction of Metropolis, the big fight with Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel. It was like Kermit. Kneel before Zod. Kermie, my love. I think since I'm off the meds, my mind is going blah, blah. I don't say blah. I really, really like this movie. I do believe in ghosts. My mind is like, what the hell is with me today? And that's all I've had. That's all I've had. And I got no good news. I got nothing. I have no reason why. I'm just on. Yeah, I don't know what people's problems are, and I'm really looking forward to Batman v Superman, because after the trailers, I'm so glad they touched on the destruction, Batman's take on he's not a good person, he's just a destroyer, and you can't trust him, he's an alien, and I like that whole take, and I'm really looking forward to hoping that they do justice to that. No pun intended. No pun intended. Justice. No. Yeah, and so we'll see. We'll see. 3D presentation converted has a lot of good moments. Has a lot of good moments, but it's it's nothing. It's not super. It's not super great, but it's very adequate 3D viewing. I didn't open it. You know what it's like. Oh, in the last video I was talking about the Little Rascals, and I kind of like touched on a few things I used to watch growing up. Three Stooges, Little Rascals, Laurel and Hardy. Why? I have no idea. It's the same company, 3D Classics, but they took the old classic March of the Wooden Soldiers, which is basically a remake of Babes in Toyland, and they colorized it. They were doing that for a while. They even were a long way from the T's, but they did the Three Stooges like that too. They colorized them, but you can turn the color off and watch it black and white if you want. I believe you can watch both versions. Colorized and now in stunning 3D. Yeah, you can watch the original black and white in this, 1934. Excuse the but I loved this movie as a child. Growing up watching this movie, The Wooden Soldiers, dun, da, 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 da. And Laurel and Hardy, my favorite all-time comedy duo of all time. My favorite comedy team over Abbott and Costello, over Three Stooges, over the Marx Brothers, Laurel and Hardy, always. Their silence. I had so many Super 8 versions on my little projector of their silent films. I grew up just loving these guys, and all the way to the end, all the way to Utopia, which is not a very good movie, and they're so aged, and all the way up to that, which you can find on YouTube, the This Is Your Life with Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, which is so touching and so heartwarming. Excuse me, especially if you grew up with them and know them. Anyway, this movie is fine. The 3D is really decent. I mean, this company, whatever company did this, 3D Classics, doesn't really say, other than 3D Classics who did it. They did a pretty decent job with the Little Rascals, with this, and with the Three Stooges, which we'll talk about later, which is really weird, because Three Stooges did like 2 or 3 shorts in 3D, but none of those shorts are on the 3D disc that they released. They converted other shorts in 3D, which is very weird, very, very weird. And we still yet to have those original Stooges shorts. But anyway, March of the Wooden Soldiers. It's a not so cheapo case. Cheapo eco. Got my throat. I'm trying to clean it. See, I was so wacky that I screwed my voice up. Old Wacky Raj knows how to ruin everything. This is a pretty early one. It's very hefty. This is an Disney, of course, no wonder. And this is when Disney was really doing great work with their 3D releases. Mars Needs Moms. Another fantastic family film, animated. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. I really enjoyed this story. No lenticular, it's just kind of embossed. There's the back. Tons of extras, tons of discs. Got 1, 2, come on, 3, 4 disc set. Bring home 3D in 4 easy steps. Yeah, it's amazing, you know. Us 3D fans know this. But it's really amazing how when the technology of 3D came to home theater, how the studios really jumped on the bandwagon, especially Disney, and gave us such great collectible collections. Blu-ray 3D, a Blu-ray, a DVD, and a digital copy on disc. And with slipcover and all those discs and a great presentation. You put this one in, a lot of the early releases you put in, there's promotions, there's ads for 3D, there's previews for other 3D movies in 3D. Now you get, like I mentioned, Avengers and you put that disc in. It's like a 1 disc, maybe a 2 disc, Blu-ray, 3D, DVD. You put the disc in, goes right to the menu. Maybe you get the little, you know, Walt Disney logo or whatever. But then it goes right to the menu. There's no previews. There's no promotion for 3D. It's such a shame. But anyway, yeah, this was good. 3D presentation I enjoyed. From what I remember, it was pretty damn great. Yeah. Last year, nomination for Best Picture. Didn't win. Didn't win any damn thing. And I enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't care for it. That's all right. I really enjoyed it. I thought Matt Damon's performance was pretty damn fantastic. And anything by Ridley Scott, I'm watching. The Martian. Here, you know, all this isn't Disney or anything, but it's like super light, you know, compared to this. Well, you got 5 discs in there, you know, and you don't even have a lenticular. And I hate that cover art. They could have did the one where he's like the land and he's sitting. Something like that on the cover would have been better than just his face. I don't know why they... Again, Hollywood. Movie poster or producers are the people who decide the promotion. Why do we want to see the person's face? You know, show... Man, again, I can go on and on about the magic and the wonderfulness of poster art of back in the day. Even the matinee poster, John Goodman. I mean, the Joe Dante film. Yeah, you see him, but you see all this stuff down here. People running out of the theater and you know... And just look at anything done in the 60s and 70s. The Roger Corman films had fantastic poster art. Now we're in 2016 and you got a face. Two-disc set. Well, they used it on the disc at least. They used that art. What's on here? It's another just face picture. Well... At least I lived through those decades and enjoyed that artwork. If you're familiar with my defending, you've seen that just about every 3 videos, just about every 2 months, I change the poster back there. I have one of these frames that you could just snap open, throw a poster in, snap it closed, and it's there for a couple months. And if you look back, and if you're, like I said, if you're a regular viewer, you've seen how I've changed the posters out and how different each poster art was. We got the Martian. Yeah, I'm the Martian. I enjoyed the 3D in there. I really did. I thought the 3D was really well. I almost liked it even better than Gravity. That might be pretty bad to say, although I didn't see Gravity in the IMAX, so maybe Gravity was a better 3D presentation in IMAX than it was on my television. And this, I believe, is full screen as opposed to Gravity, which was the 2x3 5:9 with the black on the top and bottom. But maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I love this. And then, gosh, shortly before this movie came out on Blu-ray, because I didn't see it at the theaters, we lost David Bowie, which was, God, it was just so sad. I grew up listening to his music. And there's a sequence in here, without giving any kind of spoilers, but there's a sequence where one of his songs kicks in on the soundtrack, and it just really does start to bring out the tears. It really does. And it fits beautifully in with the movie. And it's not Major Tom. It's not that song. DreamWorks, this I believe was one of those giveaways where when you buy a 3D player, Blu-ray player, you could mail in and get this. Like I got the Avatar one, and I think there was another one. There was a few of them where you buy the machine and then you mail in and they'll send you the 3D movie for free, 3D Blu-ray movie for free. And I do believe this was one. I'm saying that too many times. I really think this is one of them, but. So I didn't get it right when it first came out. This was after I was already. Might have had 50 or so movies in my collection, and I said, "Oh, it's time to buy this movie." Megamind, Will Ferrell doing the voice. I do believe. Why can't I stop saying I do believe? So it didn't have a slipcover or anything. It's got the Blu-ray, 3D, and the disc, and the thing is slipping out. There we go. There we go. And I can't remember. I mean, maybe I bought this off of someone on eBay. Or maybe I did see it. Maybe they did start selling this in stores, but I got it. The 3D is pretty great. Not fantastic, but it's pretty great. And the story is really fun. It's a fun family film, and it's pseudo sci-fi, so I enjoyed it. This, again, the 3D was really well done in it, I thought. To be honest, I only saw this once, so I can't really tell you too much if I like the story or not. It's another Disney hefty package. Let's Meet the Robinsons in a not too lenticular cover. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. 3-disc set. Another one of those that I mentioned in my last video that I'm going to have to revisit one of these days and just kind of watch. Because it has been a while and I can't remember too much of the story. I don't have any memory of me thinking, boy, the 3D was not good in that. So I really think the 3D was pretty good in there. Next movie, the first movie, this is the third of a trilogy. First one I really, really liked. I liked that movie a whole lot. Second one, not too much. Third one, pretty damn entertaining. Not as good as the first. Men in Black 3, lenticular cover. But the Josh Brolin doing the young Tommy Lee Jones was pretty inspired, and he does a pretty damn fantastic impression of him. It's just all tchotchkes. Got 1 disc, 2, 3. 3D. I mean, the stuff where he's jumping off the building is pretty decent, and there's some stuff that's good, you know, depth-wise. I can't remember anything really coming out of the screen, but yeah, I mean, I got it for the collection, you know. Yeah. Men in Black 3, saw it maybe twice, haven't gone back to it. Well, kind of touched on back in the D's that I really liked the first 2 movies, and then they did a spin-off. And the only thing I kind of had an issue with the first 2 movies are the side characters, which they spun off to their own film. We're talking Minions. They're pretty obnoxious. Excuse me. The movie itself is fun. It's fun. It's them out there trying to find a master. And then we do meet a young Gru at the very end of this, which was a lot of fun to see. 3D is very good in these. But boy, these Minions, man. Ugh. The bad girl again. The villain is pretty humorous in this. Anyway, yeah, I'll just open it up real quick and show you. There's the back. 1, 2, 3 disc set. Yeah, I believe they're doing a Minions 2. I would rather see a Despicable Me 3. But that's just my opinion. This I had to import. The moment I saw the preview, the trailer. If you've never heard of this movie, pause this video, go watch the trailer for this, and then order it on Blu-ray if you have a 3D setup. You know, there was a I grew up watching the Warner Brothers cartoons, and I'm so glad I did. Bugs Bunny, all those characters, Sylvester the Cat, Elmer Fudd, oh my God, all these fantastic, Daffy Duck, oh, which is probably why I like Looney Tunes Back in Action so much. Not so much Space Jam. Was it Space Jam? The one with Michael Jordan, the basketball, and all the characters. Didn't. Although I'm not a sports fan, I wasn't a Michael Jordan fan, so did I say Jackson or Jordan originally? Michael Jordan. I'm not a sports fan, so it didn't do much for me. Looney Tunes Back in Action was really cool because it was them basically firing Daffy and Daffy trying to get back into movies. And it was very, very much more like Roger Rabbit than Space Jam was, with Brendan Fraser, who of course I said I liked. But I grew up watching those Warner Brothers cartoons just about every morning on the Ray Rayner Show, which was a Chicago. It was a Chicago Alive, I believe, Chicago television show every morning, probably from, just like the Bozo Show, probably from like the 70s on, maybe even the 60s on, till about the mid 80s. Ray Rayner and Friends used to do all kind of stuff. Look them up on Google, you'll see. And he used to show the Warner Brothers, and I grew up. And they weren't always, the Warner Brothers cartoons weren't always about Bugs Bunny and all the characters we all know. Sometimes they did these little offshoots, like I fondly remember the little boy who was in school, and he would draw on the blackboard the numbers, like he was doing a math problem. And then the numbers would come alive. The 3 would fight the 4, or the 4, would take the bottom half of the 4 and use it as a sword and fight the 6 and the 9, and things like that. Or the little boy in school who would fall asleep and he would daydream about flying in a paper airplane and battling things. Stuff like that, offshoots. One of them that they did a lot, which also reminds me of Hoppity Goes to Town, which was an insect film from the 60s maybe even the 50s. Back when the original, back when the original Gulliver's Travels, the Max Fleischer cartoons, I believe Max Fleischer even did Hoppity Goes to Town, which is one of my favorite all-time child cartoons. Look it up, Hoppity Goes to Town. Love that film. They did those too, with insects. Insects playing, the plants, the flowers, and the spider battling the ants and stuff like that. Well, they did an offshoot. They did a few offshoots where a couple was having a picnic, and the ants were coming and taking the food away or trying to steal the food. And it was all about the ants, and it was just an offshoot. There wasn't no famous characters, no Bugs Bunny, no Daffy, nobody in there. It was just about the ants, I saw the trailer for this movie called Minuscule. And Valley of the Lost Ants. And basically it's a CGI version, like a Pixar film or a DreamWorks film. But it's very realistic, very much more realistic than the Pixar film. I believe all the backgrounds are real, like the trees and the stream. But the ants themselves are CGI'd in there. So it's kind of like Roger Rabbit with the live action and the animated. And it's about the ants invading a picnic. And then there are the fire ants and the black ants. And they're battling to get the food from each other. And there's scenes where they're up in their anthill and they're catapulting rocks and things at the other ants, and fireworks. They find like firecrackers and bottle rockets, and they're shooting them out at the opposing ants. And it's fantastic. And it's in 3D. It's in frickin' 3D. It's amazing. It's great. It is so great, this movie. Disc art. I had to import it from the UK because it wasn't released in the US. I don't even know if the movie itself as a 2D version is available in the US. Like I said, when I buy these and I'm happy with what I buy, if they're going to release it anywhere else, even in the US, I don't even bother looking. It's like, so maybe it is out. Just like I didn't know the Sammy movies were out in the US. Only one of them in 3D, which is sacrilegious. I mean, do the first one too. If you're going to release the second in 3D, release the first one in 3D. But anyway, if you're looking for something different, there's no dialogue. Not one bit. They don't talk. The ants don't talk like in Ants, the Woody Allen character guy, or any of that stuff. They're ants. And there's bumblebees flying around helping them, and it's just beautiful to behold. Like I said, pause this now before I go to the next. Go look at the trailer and check out Minuscule. Minuscule is a great 3D movie to have in your collection if you're a 3D aficionado. This is one of the three first 3D movies I ever bought when I went to Circuit City, which is no longer around, in Illinois, in Chicagoland. I got my first Sony 3D player. I believe I paid $325 for it. And while I was there, I think they had a sale where you buy the player, you get one movie free. And I ended up buying 2 more with it. So when I got the player, my free movie out of the 3 was Piranha 3D, Drive Angry, the Nicolas Cage movie, and Monster House in 3D. And I got home and hooked everything up with the new receiver, which I had to buy because you had to get a new receiver that did the 3D, and you had to get the new HDMI cables, which handled the 3D. Didn't realize any of that, so I put a little bit on my credit card that I needed to, that I didn't expect. Thought I was only going to spend maybe $400 and ended up probably spending about $500 with the new receiver and the new HDMIs and all that stuff. But anyway, I was so happy. And then I got it all hooked up, and I believe this was the first movie I watched out of them. Well, I did throw in Drive Angry, and I was floored. I talked about that in the D's. I was floored with the 3D, how amazing things were just coming out of the screen. And it's like, holy frell, this is amazing. And for the movie of that night that I was just going to sit down and watch from beginning to end, I watched Monster House because I had seen it before, and I really, really liked the story of the house and the rug coming out as the tongue, and then the ending with the crane and stuff like that. I was like, and I knew it was in 3D, but I was watching the 2D version, and I was like, man, this is going to look amazing. And it was, and it is. It's very, very good in 3D. Everything, whenever you watch this, if you don't have a 3D set, anything that you can imagine visually, the depth, the hole in the floor and all that, it looks amazing in 3D. It really does. And it's very cool because it had a clear case, and it has some tchotchkes and just one disc. First disc of my collection, first of 3. This it was out for a while, and it probably even had a slip cover. And it was a slow month for 3D. And I was just looking around, and I was like, Blu-ray.com, looking around. I was like, I think I'll take a chance. And it's time to buy this one just to have it in my collection. A Monster in Paris. And it's a fun little film. Not going to say too much because there are a few spoilers in here, but it's a great little family film. 3D is adequate. It's not spectacular, but it's adequate, and it does help the presentation when you watch the film. Here's the back. 2-disc set, Blu-ray 3D, and DVD, I do believe. Yep. Get it if you want. Now this I know because I put this in a bunch of times just to watch the short. But this movie is great. This movie is great. I didn't have this one. This is another one of those Disney Pixar films that was not originally in 3D. And then they did a sequel. And the sequel was in 3D. And they decided to go back and do the first one, convert it to 3D, and release it at the show for a limited time. And of course, Disney released a hefty mega set, Ultimate Collector's Edition of Monsters, Inc., which is a great flick. Look at that lenticular. It's great. You could actually peek around the door and see him. Yeah. I love this movie. This movie was great. I love monsters. I grew up watching monsters. And it was the diner called Harry Hawson's, and then all the doors leading into all the bedrooms at the end, and the conveyor system with all the doors and everything. This is great. After I saw the second one, which was in 3D, which was fantastic, I was like, oh, I'm so glad they're doing this because that stuff with the doors is going to be so great. Flat door opening up, and then the depth of the bedrooms in there, and it's great. The 3D conversion is fantastic in this. It's one of those really, really great Pixar films that they converted. Got the 1 disc, 2 disc, 3 disc, 4, 5 disc set, super heavy. Excuse me for coughing. But totally taken by surprise when I got this one. There's a short on here, a Toy Story short in 3D, which is probably one of my all-time favorite, to this day, 3D short films called Partysaurus Rex. And 3D fans who have this know that short. Rex basically has a big party in a bathtub with all these other little bathtub toys. And disco ball and lights and hilarity ensues, and then tragedy when the bathtub starts overflowing. It is. I've watched it more times than I've watched Monsters Inc. I've watched the short many times. I went to the shelf, pulled this out just to watch Partysaurus Rex in 3D. And the 3D is just so great. It's, if you haven't seen Partysaurus Rex, well, in my opinion, I'd buy this set if you could still get it. It's heavy. It's an ultimate edition. It might be out of print, but not to say anything bad about Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is a really, really fun film, and it's a great conversion. Look at this. Look at this. Cool lenticular cover. Monsters University, flat, a little embossed, flat. And this is an Ultimate Collection too. Does this have any shorts? The Blue Umbrella. Oh, yeah. See, I mentioned that I should be mentioning what shorts are on certain Blu-ray discs, because sometimes the shorts are really worth talking about. But like the other Ultimate editions, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4 disc set. It was a fun movie. 3D is about as adequate as the first one, but I like Monsters Inc. a lot better. Probably because it's like an origin story. You're getting to learn the characters. You're getting to learn the system. This was all right. It was like a prequel of how they first met in Monsters University. So, you got to hit them both. Got to get them both. You get the 1, you got to get the 2. And the Pixar, you can't go wrong with Pixar films. This is one of the other ones that I was thinking of that it was a giveaway. You get the machine and then you mail in and then you get this. And again, it doesn't have a slipcover, so I don't know if I got this off the shelf or if I bought this from somebody on eBay that did do the mail-in and wanted to get rid of it. The 3D in this is really, really good. And no doubt they were giving it away with the 3D players because there's a lot of pop-outs in here. Monsters vs. Aliens. And I just noticed up here I have a little cracked case, which is no big deal because you can order these cases online. I don't know if you can order them with that say 3D. Maybe you can now, but back about 5 years ago when I was big into Blu-ray, I found a company that you can get like 10 of these cases for like, I think it was like $15 you get 10, or 20 cases for $10, something like that. And they were just blank cases. And all if you had goo on them or if you had damage like a scratched plastic, you just take the slip cover and put it in and then put the disc in there. 2 disc set. Like I said, this is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this movie too. What movies don't I enjoy? Well, there's a few. But I had a great time with this. This was a lot of fun. I said that already. But the 3D is really, really good in this. There's quite a few pop-outs. Yeah, 3D presentation, good. Monsters vs. Aliens, a lot of fun. This was close behind. This was another one of my early releases, and it was shot in 3D, native, from what I understand. And I don't love the original. I don't even have it anywhere in my collection. I've seen the original a bunch of times, and this is a remake of an 80s film, an 80s slasher film. My Bloody Valentine, and it's in 3D. And yeah, this has lots of pop outs. This like Drive Angry, you know, pickaxes and midgets, little people, that little person hooker lady, and the naked lady running around by the truck. And yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, see my Bloody Valentine. Cheapo Eco with an alarm sticker thingy. Yeah, you know, it's a decent slasher flick. It's kind of predictable. The 3D in it is really good because, like I said, it was shot in native 3D. So I have no complaints about that. Haven't gone back to it in a while. But it's in the collection. Yeah. 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 Wow, here's an import. Wow, I had a good time with this movie. I gotta watch this again. I believe I got this from Yes Asia. I think it's a Chinese film. Just look, Cantonese, Korean. Maybe it's a Korean film. But I think it's Chinese. I think it's a Chinese film. And the original name of it is Mr. Go. Mr. Go. This is about a gorilla who can play baseball. Yeah, that's right. A gorilla who, as a circus trainer, this girl here trains this gorilla who she finds out has a talent, knows how to hit a baseball, and knocks him out of the park. And through weird means gets to play in a baseball. I believe it's a World Series. I believe they all the way get to like a World Series. And it's a whole lot of fun. Shot native 3D. Of course there's CGI, you know, with the gorilla hitting the balls and stuff. But it's a little confusing because you have to read the English subtitles. I'm one of those guys watching a foreign film. I want the English. I don't want the dubbing. And I do believe language, Cantonese and Korean. Yeah, it doesn't come with the English, the bad English dub. Oh, look over there. There's a gorilla hitting the ball. Oh, look out. I don't know why it's like... I hate dubbing. God, I hate dubbing. It's so bad. Just give me the original language with the thing. So what I was saying is when you're watching this in 3D, you know, your eyes are focused on the 3D presentation, and then you got to jump down and read the subtitles and back up. So it's even more of a challenge if you don't like watching foreign films with a subtitle, a flat movie, where you keep going back and forth. But being that it's 3D, it's a little more challenging. But movie itself, I enjoyed. It was a good time, like I said. It's one of those great Sunday afternoon movies you throw on and you just sit back and relax with some popcorn and just have a fun time. It's funny, it's touching, it's totally entertaining. Totally entertaining. Mr. Go. But you'd have to import it. Again, I don't know if it ever came out. This was a big disappointment. And I really wish they kind of would go back. Excuse me. With today's... Well, they're not going to, because 3D, they're not even caring anymore. But I wish they would have gone back and really enhanced the three-dimension presentation on this. I say 3D presentation. That's what it's all about. But when I first heard this was coming out, and it was one of those Disney limited, you know, go to the theater, we converted it, go now and see it again in 3D. Eye-popping 3D! I thought, boy, that's going to be great. That's going to look so good. Not a great conversion, but a great movie. The Nightmare Before Christmas. It was not so lenticular cover. Yeah, they could have done so much better with this. I was very disappointed with this. But to be totally honest, whenever I watch this every year, I do watch the 3D version. Just because I am a 3D fan. And even though it's not the best presentation, it's, in my eyes, the best way to watch the movie because it does add a little depth. Not as much as it should have, a little depth. But the movie itself, enough said. Don't need to say anything else about it. I just love it. It's great. I love the music, the Elfman score, and Sarandon's voice. who knew he could sing? But yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, just a great classic movie. Another import, isn't that a surprise? Because it was released everywhere in 3D at the theaters, but, well, wait a minute, no, maybe it wasn't. No, this is one of those movies that, and was this yet? No, this is UK. This is UK. When this movie came out in other countries, it was in 3D. It was a conversion. I think maybe it wasn't native. Maybe, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if this is native or converted, but this was released everywhere in 3D at the theaters, except for the US. And maybe in the 3D completist, it's like, if it's out there and you could buy it in UK or from Asia, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy the 3D version. So I got it. Need for Speed. Aaron Paul. Right after Breaking Bad ended, he filmed this movie, The Need for Speed. And yeah, this is the UK version with the slipcover. 2-disc set. Blu-ray, DVD. Or no, Blu-ray 3D and Blu-ray. Not a bad film at all. I mean, if you like fast cars, it's not as outlandish as Fast or Furious. It's more of just a, fast car drama revenge flick in a way. Since Breaking Bad, I thought Aaron Paul was fantastic. So being right off the show, this is the first thing he did. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to want to watch this film. So, and the US never released the Blu-ray. They never put it in the theaters in 3D. So I had to go to the UK and import it, which I did, and I'm glad it's in my collection. 3D, from what I remember, is pretty decent. Maybe not spectacular. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember it being decent. I wouldn't want to watch it in 2D anymore, but so I got it. This was a blind buy just because of the trailer. Yeah, this is a US release, I guess. I thought I imported this too, but no. Don't know if it's in print anymore. But I knew it was going to be a cheesy horror film. I was very, very surprised with Julia X. I mentioned in my J video how great I love that. I think this is a native shot 3D movie. How do you say her name? Paz de la Huerta. H-U-E-R-T-A. Huerta. Your pain is help, pleasure. Your pain is... What? Oh, your blind. Your pain is her pleasure. Nurse 3D. Yeah, she's eye candy. She's eye candy, and she's eye candy in eye popping 3D. Cheapo Eco, 1 disc. Not a great horror film, to be totally honest. I think Judd Nelson's in here. I think he has a small part in here. Yeah, there he is. To be totally honest, it's not a great movie. It's kind of gory. It's fun for a horror throwaway movie. The 3D is pretty decent from what I remember. Again, I don't know if it was native or if it was converted. But eye candy. Moving on. Moving right along. We got the life on the highway. I was blown away by this movie. This movie came out, and I heard, well, even before it came out, from the trailers, I heard a lot of bad stuff from it. And then it came out, and I heard a lot more bad stuff about it. And I'm a sucker to check out bad stuff. So sight unseen, I bought the 3D version, and I'm so glad it did come out in 3D. I love this movie. Noah in 3D with Russell Crowe. I had a fantastic job with this. I had a fantastic job. I had a fantastic watch with this. What am I thinking? Fantastic time. Fantastic time. That's what time it is right now. What time is it? 3:06 in the afternoon. Thursday. The rock creatures don't bother me. None of that. Nothing bothers me in this movie. I enjoyed it. And then the fight on the Ark and everything at the end, and reaching for the thing and praying to God to get the thing, and then the boat hits something and the thing goes flying into the guy's hand so he can get it to save it. And I thought, and this is a conversion. This is a 3D conversion. I thought the 3D was fantastic in this. It really was. And that's just my opinion. I'll have to say to you people out there that go, I didn't think it was that good. It didn't look good on my TV. Well, everybody's different. Everybody's setup's different. Noah in 3D. Something tells me I imported this. I don't know, though. I mean, there's no... I don't think this came out in the U.S. I don't know. Something in the back of my cranium says that I had to import that. Maybe I did. I don't know. Well, I know I imported this. I heard this thing was... I knew this right from the beginning, from the trailers, was in 3D. And, of course, when it was released in the U.S. on Blu-ray, no 3D, no 3D. And, it was the Bluray.com forums. I heard somebody talking about it, and I was like, you can get this in 3D? So I went and I looked, and I found where I can import it from, and I really can't tell you where I got it from. But it's the nut job. With old, what's his name, doing the voice? Will Arnett from old Arrested Development, Pennies. But you got Will Arnett, you got Brendan Fraser, you got Jeff Dunham, Liam Neeson. Boy, he's doing a lot of... Boy, he works a lot. Voiceovers and Taken type movies. But it was entertaining. It was fun. The squirrel and his nuts. There you go. But like I said, I think I did import this because I don't think this is available in the U.S. in 3D. So, again, I have 300 plus movies in 3D collected over the last 5 years. I can't remember where I got every single one. But I do remember I had to import this. So yeah. This is an import. Wait a minute. Wait a moment. You're not Miss Jackson. Oh, yes, you are. Very good. I was just talking to someone on the Blu-ray forums. I don't think I watched this. This is a bonus to me. And I just put I didn't pre-order it, but I put it in the save for later because I was going to buy it. Hey, folks. Hey, Blu-ray collectors. Did you ever buy a movie, like again, and totally forgot you had it in your collection, and then you bought it, and you're like, put it up on the shelf, and it's right there. What? I had it already, and I bet that happened a few times. I think it happened once to me. It was going to happen again with this one, because I went to Yes Asia, and I put it in the save for later, in the basket, and I figured, well, when I get some funds, I'm going to buy it. Because someone on the Blu-ray forums, the 13th Man. If that's right, props to you, brother. I think his name is the 13th Man, the guy who posts in the Blu-ray 3D, Bluray.com 3D forums. We were having just a real quick conversation, and he listed a bunch of movies that he had pre-ordered because he had just gotten a PAL machine, I think. And one of them was this. And I answered him and saying, yeah, I really want this one, and this one. And this, I already have it. This is a Japanese or Chinese or Korean. Well, I can't read. Wait. It's Chinese because it's in traditional Chinese, Cantonese Mandarin. Yeah, this is a Chinese film. Disaster film. called Out of the Inferno in 3D. I never watched this. My gosh, now there's something. I had bought this movie from Asia, because that's the only place you can get it from. I had bought this movie, M-N-O, we're in the O's. Put it on the shelf, totally forgot about it. Wow, I think I'm going to watch this tonight. And I'm so glad I didn't spend $30 to buy it again. Because that's usually, to import it from Asia, it's about 30 bucks, 28, something like that. Wow. Well, I'm taken aback. Take me back! Take me back! I'm taken aback. I can't tell you how it is. It's 3D. As you can see, it's disaster. Building is blowing up, fire, people are hanging off of things. I got something to watch tonight. It happens, right? You got massive collection. Oh, I'm gonna buy They Live. Oh, good! I finally got the Scream collection. It's there on the shelf. What? I bought two. This one I bought. I heard again the forums. I heard a lot of great things about this. I heard it had a lot of great pop-outs. And it was one of those days where I was like, okay, time to buy it. Open season 3D. Yeah, they make a hell of a lot of family films in 3D. All these like CGI characters, Pixar, DreamWorks things, just everything is in 3D. And I hope they continue. But yeah, I was very pleased with this. Not only was the 3D pretty damn spectacular in my eyes, but I enjoyed the story immensely. I really had a great time with this. Wow, it's weird. I can see through there. It's it's like you could see through the case. Anyway, one disc set, little booklet thing. Tchotchke. Yeah, family film, 3D. It was fun. 2 more left, folks. 2 more. How are we doing on time? 1 hour 10. More flack from this. It's like, how can you touch Oz? Oz the Great and Powerful. But it's got Mila Kunis as the Wicked Witch. So Roger had to get it because he loves Mila Kunis. There's the back. And it's got what's his name in there too. What's his name? James Franco. Just some tchotchkes in one disc. Pretty much like how they did the Alice in Wonderland. Thought the 3D was pretty phenomenal in this too. I loved how it started with the black and white and the small square in the center. And then how, when he got to Oz, how it opened up. And the whole little boat trip going through the giant flowers and things like that. And everything about this I enjoyed. The little glass ceramic character and the flying monkey and then the witches. And you find out, I don't know how close this is to Oz or Wicked, but you kind of find out how, the Wicked Witch became wicked, tricked into blah, 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 and spoilers. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was great. I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed it. Yes, sir, I did. Say that again. I enjoyed it. This was a blind buy, just because I was looking for something in 3D. And again, the forum said it was pretty decent, and it had some pretty decent 3D. So I imported it, I believe from Germany. Yeah, this in the UK. I imported this from Germany. Nicolas Cage and Hayden Christensen in Outcast. And it was fun. It was all right. It's what you expect. If you see the trailer for this, you're pretty much getting what you see in the trailer. Nothing spectacular. It's from what I remember, the 3D, which is a conversion, is adequate. It's okay. It's pretty much like 47 Ronin or something like that. Nothing to write home to mom about or anything like that. Where did that expression? Nothing to write home to mom about. Anyway, so yeah, I picked up the German import. There you go. Yeah, it's German on there. They give you a reversible slipcover, but the writing is in German on both of them, and the picture is the cover is the same. So why would you reverse it if it's not going to be different? MNNOs are done, folks. The MNROs. Oh my God. I'm glad I came down. Boy, did we start out wacky. Woohoo! Man, what was with Roger? He was hitting the wacky sauce there. Yeah. I'm going to need to rewatch this to see. I'm going to need to rewatch. Nah, this is just one. And I'm sipping. Boy, I don't know what got into me, folks, but maybe it was that crazy opening in 3D, in 3D, in 3D, in 3D, in 3D, in 3D. So, folks, thanks for watching. Hey, everybody. New viewers, if you enjoyed this, I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and share and like and all that fun stuff. And you regular viewers, come back next week, next Monday, and we will have the O, M, and O P's, the P's. Maybe the P's and Q's. Maybe the P's, Q's, and R's. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to have to look at my shelf and see what's a decent length. I mean, I'm trying to keep these around the hour range, and we're right now, the way I'm looking at it, it's 114, so probably with credits, we're talking about 120 maybe less, if I can shut up from talking. But anyway, I thank you guys for all watching. I always thank you, and I always thank all my subscribers. And eventually, I'm going to be getting to all of you guys. I have about 400 plus subscribers, and I'm doing this thing called Sunday Shoutouts, and I have been. And I'm eventually, I just want to shout out and thank my subscribers, and if they have a channel, to basically shout you out and hopefully tell my new viewers about you and have them go and subscribe to you as my thank you for originally subscribing to me and continuing to be a subscriber and enjoying and watching my videos. So I guess that'll be it. So this is old Roger D from Channel Donstar, basically signing off, saying thanks for watching. Please come back next Monday and we'll see another bit of my 3D Blu-ray collection. And throughout the week you'll see Thursday Throwback Theater, where I watch a movie that either I have never seen, that's an older movie, or a movie that I have seen but I haven't seen in a number of years, and my take on them. And then Sunday Shoutouts will be every Sunday night. And I don't know what else. Now, those are the three planned basics. Whatever comes throughout between those throughout the week, either an IMO reviews or a What's Roger Watching or anything. Maybe just me dancing in the kitchen. Who knows? Those will be sprinkled throughout. So anyway, this is, like, again, Roger D, Channel Donstar. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you in the next video. All right. Bye-bye.